Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you the basics of the game Don't Starve Together. So basically what you would like to do first is to collect the resource such as twigs and grass and also flint. So these are the basics and they are one of the most important. And also another important thing to note is try to avoid collecting the flowers because you're going to need it later, and harvesting flowers also helps to increase your sanity. So try your best to not use it first. Just keep it for later. We're going to use it later. And first, try to survive on carrots instead of the berry bush. That's actually not really like canon, but more of a preference, at least for me. I prefer surviving on carrots first, and then after I run out, I run out of all of them, then I'll start to switch to the berry bush. And you can also press M on your keyboard to open the map. Now, don't worry if your map looks too small. You can scroll it further to zoom it, and there you go. You're going to need plenty of flint and grass. I mean grass and twigs. So it's always a good idea to collect more, especially than what you really need. And make sure before day 1 ends, you have make axe, because you're going to need some wood chopped down from the trees in order to survive from the darkness. Let's craft an axe, and for chopping down trees, try to chop down trees which has already grown to its max growth state. So pine trees that looks like these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of these have already grown into its max growth stage. So I really encourage all of you to chop down these trees instead of the small one, because the small one, they won't yield you tons of wood. And if you encounter this kind of things, seeds, just pick it up. So another important thing to note is try to decide where you would like to build your base. And for now, we haven't explored that much yet, so we're not going to make a huge or like a consistent, a set base yet. So I'm just going to make a temporary fire pit for now. And you never, you'll never like have enough wood or logs. So if you have spare time, just make sure you chop more than what you need. Oh, another thing that is important to note, pawns are actually a very essential aspect of the game. Try not to build or make your base too close to one, but you still need to have it quite close, like walking range, so that you can go up to it when you need it. What's the purpose? I'm going to tell you later. Whilst you're exploring, there are a few biomes that are essential for surviving. So usually, one of the few that you'll need to keep an eye for, such as the location where Beefalo spawns, Spider Dance, and Pig Village is also essential. And swamps. And I just forgot the most important, which is the Tallbird biomes. You will need a lot of the, what you call that, golden nuggets. And usually those biomes where the golden nuggets are located, Talbert biomes, they're usually located near the Beefalo biomes, which are like yellow in term of the terrain. It's like the plains. And it's almost nighttime, so let's build our campfire right here. And one more thing, it's a much better idea for you to cook your food instead of eating it raw. So we'll just cook all of them and replenish our hunger bar. So as you can see, during the dusk and during the nighttime, your sanity will keep dropping. So it's not actually a weird thing that happened, unusual. As you can see from the cycle over here, yellow indicates day, orange or red indicates dusk, and the dark blue one indicates night. So in order for you to restore sanity, you can either first gather flowers, which we'll try to avoid as much as we can, and it's pretty early on. Second is to correct this green cap and cook it. So you have to make sure you cook it. They will restore your sanity. But if you eat it raw, it will reduce it instead. Now, these green caps will only spawn and appear during the dusk, during this orange time. The third one is to build a science machine and invent new things that has the light bulb icon, and I'm going to explain it a little bit further when we've already constructed one. Oh, and we find spider den. So another very important tips for you is that we can never have enough spider web or the seal and the first thing I strongly recommend all of you is to kill the spider den pretty early into the game, because then if you wait too long, your den will grow very big into that level 2 and the spiders are going to grow stronger and you don't want that. So make sure you destroy the spider dens pretty early on and farm a lot of those spider webs. Oh yeah, and just now I've already showed you how to like fight the spiders. Just like one technique that I use, which is called like kiting, which basically you try to judge their attack and strike backs. So you kite them like this, and then you click on them and attack them. And we found our beefalo herd. Beefalo is actually very essential, especially when you want to build like a permanent base. So now we know the location of one, and we need tons of this manure. Even though we don't, and we haven't really found the Talbert biome, we've got plenty of gold vein over here, so I think we're going to do fine. So this kind of vein or mines are actually very essential for surviving, because we need those to be able to make the science machine and to install our sanity. So basically, keep an eye out for those gold veins. see a beehive as big as this, don't hit it. It will spawn a hidden boss, which is the queen bee. So make sure you don't touch that, and you don't want to be near this one because this is a killer bee and it will spawn and start attacking you like this. Just now I forgot to mention it, but the reason why we'll need to collect a lot of rocks is because we want to craft this campfire, the fire pit, instead of the other one. So if you press it on your keyboard and open the light sources, try to craft this one instead of this one, because this one will stay and this one will disappear after the fire runs out. And then the reason why you will want to collect your gold ore is to create this science machine. So science machine actually takes like 1 gold nugget, and as you can see from the... Wait, let me attack this bird and get some meat. Alright, I'm going to eat first. Now, as you can see from the recipe over here, there are a few plants that we haven't made yet with the light bulb icon. So if you try to make these, you'll get some of your sanity back. So for example, 163. So let's say I would like to make the gardening stuff and I would like to create a rope, 163. So if I craft this for the first time, prototype, now it's 178. So I got 15 sanity points. So that's how it works and how to help you increase your sanity. So usually on day 7, you will be ambushed by a hound. So as you can see, there's like some weird noise behind in the background. So basically, actually on day 7, before that, try your best to build or make an armor. Or if you cannot, the best way to actually escape from this situation is to enter a wormhole. So that's your safest bet if you cannot build an armor. Or you can actually taunt them to another stronger opponent, like the clockwork, for example.